Hello Mom and Dad Meet World. So today we are talking about the M2 Mac Mini. So what I've got behind me right now is the M4 Mac Mini, and the M4 Mac Mini is the base model with the exception of storage. We went from 256 gigs of storage to 512 gigs of storage, and that is the configuration I'm currently running right now with the two monitors behind me, which the screensaver should kick on any second now. But yeah, that is what I'm running directly behind me, and that is hooked up to a OWC external storage with 4 terabytes on a Crucial P3 NVMe SSD, Crucial P3 Plus, should I say. And that is what I'm using for all of our video projects, all of our video storage. The main programs, photos, all go on that 512 gigabyte SSD. So I'm talking about the M2 Mac Mini, which I have got right here. And I specifically want to talk about the M2 Mac Mini because I'd actually seen on one of the threads that alerts me on deals is like, hey, Best Buy is selling the M2 Mac Mini open box for like $275 and change. We'd actually got this from a friend of a friend for $200 exactly. This is the M2 Mac Mini base model, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, and I want to see how essentially it's going to compare against the M4 Mac Mini. So the price on that M4 Mac Mini is $599, $499 if you can get it with a sale price or Apple student discount. This was approximately $200, so $200 compared to essentially, let's just say $500. But then if you want to upgrade the storage, add another $200 onto that price back there. So $200 essentially compared to around a $700 to an $800 machine. So if I'm going to compare this, and I definitely do want to load up my Apple ID onto this M2 Mac Mini. So I'm going to have to do a couple things. So there are more ports on that M4 Mac Mini. So we've got 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports. So Thunderbolt 3, Thunderbolt 4 ports on the back of that M4 Mac Mini. And on this one, we've only got 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports right here that you can see, and these Thunderbolt ports really do come in handy. And then you've got also on this side right here, you have got the regular USB-A ports. These are USB-A. I believe these are 3.2 ports, so they are the latest greatest ports, along with you've also got Ethernet, which is handy dandy, which I do run, and then you've got also HDMI, which, you know what, the HDMI is going to be a little bit of a non-use for me with this particular part because I'm going to be running the same Thunderbolt ports. So what I've got on here, I am actually utilizing all of the Thunderbolt 4 ports on this M4 Mac Mini because I've got the 2 Thunderbolt displays. I've got a Thunderbolt dock. It is a TS3 Plus Thunderbolt dock, and I do like it very much because it also has my SD card reader on there. And then I've got another dock. It is a USB-C dock, but I've got a USB-C to USB-A 3.2 adapter, which I will use. So in a way, this is just part 1. I need to get everything hooked up, transferred over, disconnect the M4, and hook up the M2 Mac Mini. And in the second part of the video, or second video should I say, I will show you or I will tell you exactly how the experience went, because I know one of the things I've definitively got to do, as I said, just to compensate for the lack of base storage on this particular model, is I've got to take all of the photos. So with myself being an Apple user, we've got photos that we use, which I do love to make sure everything syncs, because when I take a picture on my phone or when I upload an SD card, all of the photos go to all those devices that I've got. So the issue being, this will have half of the storage, and right now it's using approximately 300 gigabytes, and that's obviously more than the 256 that's available on here. So what I've got to do, even with optimized photo storage, I've got to take those photos, put them onto an external SSD on here, and figure out, I'm probably going to hook it up to one of the other docks I've got connected to this machine back here, just to compensate for not having the photos on the main drive. So I'm going to move the photos library off of the main external storage on the M2 Mac Mini and put it onto an external SSD, along with keeping the crucial P3 Plus. So we will see how that goes, because we're limited on ports here, because even though technically with these ports back here we've got the two Thunderbolt 3 ports, and then we've got the Thunderbolt, the USB-A ports, it's still, you know, it's that super fast storage. So we're going to try to see if that USB 3.2, as I said, that OWC drive is technically a USB 4 storage. So we'll see. We can go from USB 4 to USB 3.2. We'll see how much that affects it. I don't know. Maybe we'll just keep that hooked up. Anyways, that's going to be for a future video. I will let you know what I do on that. So the purpose of this video is to go, well, if you find a Mac Mini for $200 to $300, is it really worth it? But right now, trade-in values are about $250. So I figured if it does not work out, then we just basically bought a $250 gift card for around $200. So that's the way I'm thinking about it, kind of like a no loss. But if it does work out, I'll let you know, share my experiences with you, because I do love having that M4 Mac Mini. It's so responsive and it's so fluid, especially with that 16 gigs of memory, that you going back down to 8 gigs of memory. Ooh, I don't know. That could be very, very rough. We shall see how that goes. But yeah, this has only been part one. So you see an M2 Mac Mini, you see it for $200, depending on your financial situation, if you can afford it, or if you think to yourself, just like myself, you can easily get a $250 gift card from Apple from it for $200. Could be a no loss. You may want to experiment yourself, but again, that's just what I did. And this was part one. Hopefully you like and subscribe. You stick around for part two, which will be coming up in future videos. I'll let you know how that goes. But yeah, M2 Mac Mini. As I said, it's been on Best Buy, $275 open box or so. Maybe you can get it slightly cheaper. Got it from a friend of a friend for around $200. And then if you also are out and about and you are meeting somebody, whether you're meeting them in a public well-lit parking lot or in a cafe, a diner, a restaurant, wherever, you might want to have portable power. And that video is also at the end, where you can link to that. And I'll show you exactly what I did to test this, to make sure I did not just get a very large $200 paperweight, make sure this activated. So stay tuned for that one. But if you like this, you know what to do. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.